Sports Network, 99.1 and 93.5 The Roar, the Woodward Sports app, and anywhere you listen to podcasts. Let's talk some sports. It's Big D Energy.
Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy.
Big D!
Right here, Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal Ruhl. That guy over there is D-Mac, Darren McCarty, won Stanley Cups and stuff. That guy over there is the Detroit sports media icon, Terry Foster. He was in a 30 for 30, everybody, but you know that already. Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter here in the building as well. T, what's poppin', man?
Let me see. I think Lion fans should be able to sue Hard Knocks. That's what I think. Because they have Lion fans so hyped up that they put all their money on the Lions winning the division. They're not going to win the division. You threw thousands and thousands of dollars away. And I blame that on Hard Knocks. They got everybody all geeked up.
Yeah, but wasn't that we talked about that yesterday. Wasn't that going into Hard Knocks before we saw anything? Everybody's giving their predictions and stuff.
No, but they put their money on it now.
After I saw what it is, like I said yesterday, I like the culture in place. I like the coaching staff and what they've done. That doesn't equate to wins. After seeing Hard Knocks and what they have, Terry, where I had them at 8 wins before, I got them at 6 or 7. I think, they show what they are. They're going to be better than last year, and I think they're going to win more than 3 games. But to think they're going to win a division or anything like that, it's going to be, to me, I think the tough question is, can they win over 6.5 games?
Right, and we're going to get the breakdown in T. Foss. You know where he stands already because we just saw it, but we do have a big-time show lined up for you guys. And look, there's a lot of money on the Lions win the division, a lot of money on Dan Campbell to win Coach of the Year. Those kind of go one and the same. I guess they run in concert with each other. That's acceptable journalistically, right, T. Foss?
It is.
Okay, thank you. So I will run that. We will talk about Lions-Eagles. We get to do that now. I keep forgetting that.
Wow.
That it's a game week, man. We
Big
get to
game.
talk about it. Yeah, they're all big games. Only 16 of them. I got a guest lined up 2 second hour, and you guys will love this.
Yes.
We're going to talk to Matt Deutsch. He's the founder of the Bettor Sports Network and also created on SiriusXM Radio, SiriusXM Fantasy Sports. He created all that. Like, he's heavy in the fantasy community. And so we're going to have him on. And the crux of it, the main reason I asked him to come on, we're going to put Sam Flannel on trial for drafting Patrick Mahomes 4th overall in his draft. And he's going to roast him because he's a fantasy expert, and we're all going to laugh, and then we'll all go about our day, Terry.
Can I
Is that
say
fair?
something?
Yes.
I talked to a young man this weekend. He also got Patrick Mahomes.
Did you catch his name? We'll make fun of him, too.
No, you won't, because he got him in the 5th round.
So we'll see what is close.
Well played, sir.
What is closer to the truth? Patrick Mahomes at 4th overall
Or in the 5th round, yeah. And so
even I can answer that one.
Yeah, so we're going to break all of it down with people that, do this for a living. And I'm sure Sam Flannel will do some mental gymnastics, and he'll try to dance around it, and he'll say something with conviction so you try to believe it. But in the end, people that do this for a living, that, created networks about it and ish like that, they'll roast them, and then we can all move on. But no, very much looking forward to talking to Matt Deutsch about that and some other stuff that's going on around the sports world. Also, Ask the Legends, T-Foss, D-Mac, as we wrap up the show. You guys got any questions for them? Feel free to fire away on that. Get involved. YouTube chat thread, as you guys are doing right now. Detroit Dabber 313 first in, as always, says, what up, though? Tammy Chin upset, said I missed it by a few seconds. But good morning to you all. Appreciate you all tapping in. We'll read. We'll get interactive with polls. You know all the stuff that we do. But D-Mac, there's some sad news that you wanted to share in the hockey community.
Yeah, I did. A couple things. We lost a good one as far as one of the officials, and a guy by the name of Dan Shackey. Passed away, I think, of 64 years old. Don't know how or why, but why does that name so important or familiar? Not only one of my favorite linesmen, but he was the linesman in the game in Colorado, Game 6 conference finals when Chris Draper got hit from behind. He was also a linesman in the March 26, 97 game. He was, if you watch the replay of the linesman that I fade before I get up and cold cock Claude Lemieux, that was Dan Shackey. He's also the one that grabbed me when I smashed Lemieux's head into the boards, and I kneed him in the head. Went in front of Colin Campbell the next day, and Dan Shackey was on the phone and said I was off balance, I slipped. So I only got $2,500 fine. In fact, the most important thing to me, the first picture I ever signed of that sweet revenge fight photo was to Dan Shackey. So I thought it's apropos. He will be missed. I appreciate Denny Hughes, longtime security guy for the Wings, letting me know that this happened. And, along with that, Godspeed to Dan Shackey. And I'm just going to touch on this really quick, because Godspeed also to Michael J. Berry. In life, sometimes the struggle is just too hard for some people, and he unfortunately took his life on Monday. Can't save everybody. It's the fact that know that if you want help, there's people out here to talk about it. So it's a tough day for his family and everybody else, but know that you're not alone out there. And definitely a tough one to swallow. But again, keep out there, guys. Just know that you're not alone. If you're struggling with something, you got to get it out of your head. And I'm Darren McCarty 4 on Twitter. Hit me up.
Yeah, absolutely. So certainly sad to hear that news. People, they've gone about their business as they are usually on brand, roasting Sam Flannel about it. There are some people trying to defend you. So before we get Matt Deutsch on in the second hour of the show, give us the parameters of the league, Sam Flannel. What was the scoring like?
I mean, isn't it just standard scoring?
Standard PPR, yeah.
Standard PPR. So there you go. Yeah, dumb move.
You just gave him. You tried to give him
an
sort of an out or whatever like this, and he is so arrogant in the fact that he picked Mahomes 4th overall.
He's indignant.
No one's going to change. Indignant.
Yeah, he's indignant.
You know what he's thinking? When I win the league, y'all will shut up. That's what he's thinking.
Yeah, that is what he's thinking. And T-Foss, look, you've been in the broadcasting game a long time. I'm sure you've done this before, and you've had this done for you. In this line of work, T-Foss, when somebody makes a mistake and you've worked with them for a while and you know they've made a mistake, you try to give, I call it an off-ramp, an exit ramp, right? You try to circle back and give them an opportunity.
No, you embarrass them. That's what you do.
No. In this case, he embarrasses himself. And that's what it is.
You remind him of his mistake. That's like boys in the fraternity. Man, they must hate each other. No, that's what guys do.
Indignant. Feeling or showing anger or annoyance at what is perceived as unfair treatment. He thinks he's getting totally treated unfairly.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
Look at him. Look at the look at his face.
Wait another hour. Oh, wait another hour.
And look, I'm not gonna do that to Matt Deutsch. I'm not gonna spike the Kool-Aid,
No.
T-Foss. I'm not. I'm just going to present the scenario to him. And that's what we're leading off with.
I will be quiet here.
Yeah. And
Investigative
I will.
Reporter. My information's all into the council.
Yeah.
Council.
And
Yeah,
I
there's going to be a couple shots of bourbon in that Kool-Aid, brother.
well, good. But maybe I'll have some then.
You're not going to present it.
No, I'm not. I'm going to present the scenario. Standard PPR league, right? Standard practice.
Yes.
There's no goofy-ish for quarterbacks or anything like that, right?
No extra points for long touchdowns. No two
None of that
quarterbacks.
stuff. Just straight up.
Straight up.
Straight up PPR league. Okay. And I'm just going to present the information to Matt Deutsch, who, by the way, founded SiriusXM Fantasy Sports.
Yeah.
Created it. Who's in 15 fantasy leagues or whatever it is every year.
Yeah.
I will just present the scenario. He will react how he reacts, and we move on. That's it.
Now, what if he says, "Great job, Sam Flannel. I would have done the same thing." What are we going to do then?
Then I'll accept that
No,
and
we
move
won't.
on because he's an expert. But
Okay.
T-Foss, that would be like saying, hey, what if the sun never comes up again? It's going to come up, Terry. It's come up
is.
every single day ever. It'll be up tomorrow at some point. And don't give me that, what if it's cloudy? Stop with that
It's
dumb
still
stuff.
up. Even if it's cloudy,
It's
the sun
still
is
up. Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
It's just above the clouds.
Right.
No, that's what it is. And Sam Flannel, I won't. Again, the object of the ridicule is not Matt Deutsch. It's Sam Flannel. And we need to remember that as such.
We're all 0-0 right now. All even. It's not
Yeah, but
necessarily...
you're always going to last a little longer than most people.
It's
not
tied for first place right now.
not necessarily a mistake until it plays out games are not played on paper. Let's just see it all play out first before we declare this a mistake. I stand by it 100%.
All right, I got a question for you, brother.
Did you see? Hold on, T-Foss. Did you see the way he did this? Like,
Yeah.
I stand by it 100%. When someone does this with their finger, they're being indignant.
He is. He's like, screw y'all. But he can do that until the season begins. But Sam Flannel, besides Patrick Mahomes, if you could have one player in the league on your team, who would that be?
Probably Christian McCaffrey at this point.
McCaffrey. Okay, is he on your team?
No.
So you screwed up. The one guy that you really wanted is not on your team because you picked Patrick Mahomes.
The one guy I really wanted was Patrick Mahomes. That's why I
But
picked
you
him.
could have gotten him in the 3rd or 4th round. You can't get Christian McCaffrey in the 3rd or 4th round. That's the issue there.
I can't take that chance, though. Somebody might have scooped him up before I had the chance to get him, so I thought I would just take care of that right away.
The league is filled, D-Mac, of fired GMs with that same mentality that Sam Flannel has. To where when it's me, what is the best BPA? Best player available. I'll figure it out. Whoever is the best person on that board, that's who I
What
take.
you just brought up is something that the fantasy experience is probably closer to the real experience than it is far away. That what you're imagining as far as what some GMs will lay their stake or their claim to, especially guys in the first round, or hasn't worked. Can you think of anybody the last time somebody's taken somebody outside the norm that's worked out? Because here's the first thing that comes to my mind. It's not even football, it's hockey, right? When Steve Eisman drafted Mo Sider, everybody's going,
Who is this guy from
Who's this
Germany?
guy? What's this and that? Boom, plays out. Obviously, it pays that it's Steve Eisman.
Best player
to do that.
available.
Best player available.
That's that, and it'll play
So is
itself
that
out.
longevity? Do we see that with look to the GMs in the NFL with more longevity? It's usually the ones that are choosing best player available.
100%. 100%.
Well,
and that's how they
there's a
operate.
difference between real drafting and fantasy stuff. Like Mo Sider, a lot of people didn't know who he was. Could Steve Eisman, if he loves the guy, could he risk waiting to the 2nd round? No, probably not. Somebody would have said, hey, you know what? This Mo Sider's pretty good. I think I'm going to snap him up. You can't take that chance because the Wings, them losing and having bad players, there's a lot big difference than this dude having a screwed up fantasy team.
Yeah, and what really sucks about it, where I really feel bad for Sam Flannel, is he rallied. After being awful the first couple rounds, he rallied. And he's on a path to 500.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. 500. You're over under for wins, probably about 6.5. Where have we heard that one before?
The Detroit Lions, and they're both getting the over, so that's something I can share.
Indignant.
Love it. This is the way we like them.
Look, everybody out there, YouTube chat thread, all of you guys, just remember, and I know you do, because when I make a mistake, if I get a pick right, Terry, it doesn't matter that the get right's 18-7. 18-7.
Very good.
What do I hear about?
You hear about the 7.
The 7.
Right.
Absolutely. They want me to be 100%.
Right. But this man here, wait until November.
Boy, that's
When he
sad.
comes in
This
with
thing
that
here.
sad puppy dog face, how you doing in your fantasy, Sam Flannel? I think we're going to hit the under, so it's not that good. Now he can be indignant because he's 0-0. He thinks he's got a great team, but when he becomes an also-ran, then that's when he's going to be coming in with a sick puppy dog look. How are we going to treat him then?
Juice's Ghost on our YouTube chat thread, and I knew this was going to be the byproduct of this. Yo, can I get in your guys' league next year? It sounds like easy money. Well, if Sam Flannel's in it, his money's easy money. You know that.
At least you know you're not going to finish last, and you're not going to have to walk up and down Woodward nude saying, I suck at fantasy football.
Yeah.
You know you don't have to do that.
You don't have to do that. Well, where do you think Mr. Kearney would have went
Well,
in the fantasy
speaking
draft?
of, I don't know if it's easy money, but well-earned money, it's, Academy of Warren. And if you're interested in expanding your career, making a difference in your community, the Academy of Warren is for professionals that have a passion for working with students in the kindergarten to 8th grade department and more. So for more information on how to apply, call the Academy of Warren, 586-552-8010, hashtag we are AOW. AcademyofWarren.net. Hit them up today.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risk, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Detroit's downtown summer playground is back. Open all summer long, the Monroe Street Midway. Enjoy roller skating, free Wi-Fi, food trucks, art installations, and so much more. Don't forget to take advantage of the basketball court, putt-putt, and, of course, family programming all summer long. All art installations are done by Detroit artists, and it's a fun, safe event from people 1 to 100. Go to deckedoutdetroit.com.
Back at it, off and running, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. We're squad deep up in here. My name is Neal Ruhl. That guy's Darren McCarty. That guy over there is Terry Foster, Sam Flannel, the fantasy draft killer. We also have Spencer Raxter as well, whose team will be better than Sam Flannel's. I think that's a safe bet. Chuck says Neal's all about value on the pick, and Sam played with his heart, not his head. People are also talking about the Ben Wallace take by Sam Flannel, so the Patrick Mahomes draft pick is very much on brand. So there is that. Speaking of on brand, Lions brand out there to the world. Hard Knocks yesterday, the last episode. And I'm curious to know, again, my big takeaway from all this, Terry, when someone asked me about it, I didn't like it as much when it was on my team, the team I root for. I knew too much. I was too close to everything. I just didn't find it as entertaining as I do when it's on other teams. But at the same time, I did get what draws me to the show yesterday when the people get released and stuff like that. And full disclosure, it's not because I'm a dick and I want to see people get cut. It's because I love the humanity of it.
Right. And I actually like it better that it's a team that I know about.
Really?
And it's,
Why?
Yeah, because these are guys that are developing. You want to see what they are on the ground floor, which is training camp, and I'm kind of curious how each of these guys are going to develop. You know the personalities, so to me that's what I like. Plus, there is no better entertainer in the NFL than Dan Campbell. This dude is nuts.
Plus the coaching staff.
Yeah.
Plus the coaching
They
staff.
complement each other well.
What did he do? Did Dan Campbell hire dudes from Second City and say, "Come on and coach the Lions"? That's what it seems like.
Second City.
No, but I think when he talks about the fact that they might not have been friends, but they have the same football philosophy, I think a lot of it comes down with a lot of the same personalities, outgoing. You saw that, the things that I liked is the fact that the foundation or is the hard work or the right guys there to preach work hard. Right, and to preach some technique and can they get better if they get better talent? Well, we'll find that out. But I like what I saw because I got a little bit behind the curtain of the realness. The one thing is the authenticity and genuineness, and I can speak from just going down there and being around for camp for the night practice the one day and stuff like this because I wanted to get the vibe, and the vibe's real. That's what it is. Now, that has nothing to do with wins and losses, execution, stuff like that, but it's a starting point. And I think that going back to what was the starting point of our championships, it was instilling that culture in there that Scotty did to play for each other. Play for each other when the going gets tough. At the end of did anybody else think that was a long, drawn-out, dramatic Family Guy silent pause at the end when they asked Dan Campbell the last question? But it goes to the thoughtfulness of, because he could have said, and he thought, and when he said can and will, right, that's a start. But he was very thoughtful in what he wanted to say. That's the question to him. What did you really want to say?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, D-Mac, because that was one of the better segments I thought of the entire series. Because what do we want from people? What do we want from coaches, GMs, our bosses at work, our what do we want?
To be genuine.
Genuine. Yeah.
Genuine.
But you
That's
know
all
what?
we want.
He
was genuine,
when he
T-Foss.
first had that long pause, here's what I'm thinking. Is he thinking to himself, do I give them how I really feel, or do I give them bullshit?
And he was going back and forth.
So he was like going back and forth. I'll come up with something.
See, I don't think it was that. I think he did balance that.
That's what I was thinking
Yeah.
before he gave the answer.
Yeah,
No, I was thinking that he was thinking, what I got to be careful what I say here.
and he was.
No,
Yeah,
I mean,
he was.
I felt it to whatever, like, how are you going to answer this? Because this is going to come back into how fragile the situation is. Because go back to what he said in the first show, right? At the end of the day, they start 0-3. The questions for his job are going to be starting to come out by people, right? So it's the execution of what he has to do. But to me, that's just the starting point, because he got some guys there. Also, too, is like the characters, right? That Chase Lucas, that bright lights, big city, walking around, that's real. He reminded me, like, that's the way Drapes is. You know what I mean? Like, this lot, like, not as much sort of on a carefree level, but that about the love. That's true passion of love of football. And do I think that, yeah, the kid dropped a interception, but I think he's resilient. He almost ran me over in practice, you know. But stuff like that. You look at Malcolm Rodriguez, that the heavyweights have been on board since day one. He's going to figure out how to get there. You see the love of it, that he's just a football player, smash mouth to go whatever else. And then the final thing was the biggest, most important thing, Terry? Aiden Hutchinson. You're number 2 overall. He's everything to the coaches and what you see and how he transformed and trying to be. He's the leader of this team moving forward in the future. You got the right guy. You got the right hometown kid that wants it more than anything. And I love the fact he even said, hey, Hutch, you nervous? You nervous? You know, like, that's what you do to rookie guys. I don't care how much millions you signed for or whatever. He's part of that team. So, to me, the foundation of what to start with is there. Again, it doesn't mean wins and losses, but it's something that I'm grateful to have watched it. And I'm more to Terry. I'm glad that they finally did it on this team.
Terry, we have a question for you in the chat from Mike G. Terry, do you prefer a mellow brother like Jim Caldwell or a crazy white guy like Motor City Dan Campbell?
For me,
Yeah.
if
Which
I
do
were
you
a player,
prefer?
I like crazy. I like somebody that's not going to cuss me out every day, but it's going to motivate me. He's going to scream and be a little bit nuts. I kind of like that.
Alex Haggerty in our YouTube chat thread. I loved how some of the guys who got cut thanked Brad and Dan Campbell for being great dudes. Even as they were getting fired, we got the right guys leading the team, and the players are quality people. And I gathered that as it was going on.
You tell that, but when you walk into the room and the bro hugs,
Right.
they were real.
Right.
I looked for that to sense if it was fake or it wasn't, and even from
No, it was real.
everybody, they were all.
It was real, and that's great.
It's a start.
But
no, but what? It
Yeah.
doesn't mean anything else.
You still
finish
gotta,
your sentence.
all this means to
finish
me.
the
Win football
periods
games,
and
man.
sentences. Don't
Right.
start your new sentence with run along sentence.
Right.
Period.
You're gonna have to win. Like,
That
I know
has
people
nothing
are
to do
into
within
it.
the locker room. That's
I know,
what I'm
and I
trying
understand
to say.
that. And I understand that, D-Mac. I do.
I know.
I
you
get
do.
that.
I know you do. Some people
However, Tifa, is how you say. However, give me. No, and I get that, and it resonates with me, and that's cool when you're 0-0. It is. It's cool when you're 0-0. And look, I have more leash for these guys than most. They're still on free time to me. They are, and I know
Got a
people.
clock,
Yeah,
got a
they still
season
got
left.
17 more. We created that last year, man.
Absolutely.
You like that's again because that clock in the 34 is based on. And I got in a discussion with this with Fish this morning about this whole Lions scenario, and I keep going back to it where we understand. I know you guys do because I talk about it a lot. They're paying $18 million of their salary cap to Jamie Collins and Trey Flowers this year. That's what it is. But that's what it is. Like, that's part of it. That's part of the way the ball lies right now. Like, I can't tell you, here, you can work at 85% capacity that everybody else who's competing against you is working at, and I expect you to win. I expect you to do great things. I can't ask that of you. Not in this game. Not where everybody drives a Mercedes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but to your point, I can ask you for 85% this year because you fixed it so it's close to 100 next year, right? Instead of dragging it out. Instead of dragging it out at 88, 88, you're always operating at least 10% or more underneath. That's the payoff here, Neal. Is that the books, other than a few million here, right? Is what's left on the books.
Right, can I say something to Mr. Salary Cap over here? Probably every team has some crappy contracts. Probably most of the NFL is working at 85, 90% because they have old contracts they couldn't get rid of, and they'll be off the books the following day.
But a lot of those are good teams, Terry, that were constructed the right way, that have the ability to absorb it. Not this team, because of what they walked into. And and people are upset. Parag Patel, you had to bring that up, didn't you? Because it's real. That's what they're working with here. That's why I'm willing to, in one sentence say, you can do all the bro hugs and get thanked all you want, and it doesn't matter if you don't win games. However, this is still part of it. There's still 17 more out of 34 games to go. There's still that.
Anybody remember where we came from? Right? What did that?
That's relevant.
What did that? No, not even win. I'm talking culture. What would that relevant. Inside Hard Knocks look like if that was Patricia and Quinn at the table?
Snooze
walking
fest.
In going, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
It would have been pretty ugly.
That. But that's what I'm saying, right? So that does mean something, because more to what it changes is off the field, not the same old lines.
Juice's Ghost says, Terry, we've been overpaying for free agents since Dre Bly. That's what gives me hope. And that's why they still have a free pass this year with me. Absolute free pass. Because what gives me hope is the fundamentals of this organization and how they work are finally changed. And you have to admit that, Terry. I know you hate money, and you hate the salary cap, and you hate the draft and all that stuff. But look across the league, Terry. There was some aspect out of every good team, they are great with something financially. They are. That's the way it works.
I understand money's important. And I could be just dicking around with you because you're so passionate about this.
Absolutely.
That could be a factor, too.
And that's fine.
Right.
But as long as you just admit it, Terry.
I admit it, yes.
Admit it, Terry.
Finances are very important.
And it can work in reverse, too. As I always say with the Rams, Spence.
After them picks.
They never have to pay fifth-year options to anybody.
Yep.
So their $15 million that they would have had to spend on a first-round pick becomes, I don't know, Ndamukong Suh and Von Millers. That's how it works.
Bobby Wagner's.
You play to win the game.
And Bobby Wagner's, man. Like, you see?
They're going to go out and get Blake Martinez, too. Watch.
100%. Man, it's just the way that it works, man. I didn't create it. That's just the way that it works. Hey, I know Planet Fitness would fit in your salary cap. We are live from the Planet Fitness Studios, their official studio sponsor of Woodward Sports, and also home of the Judgment-Free Zone, where you can work out in a non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere, and it starts at just $10 a month. Hey, why would you guys not do it at that price? You can upgrade to the Black Card membership, get unlimited guest privileges, hydro massage, and more. Unlimited guest privileges, as I said, just $24.99 per month. Even that would be a mid-level exception to your salary cap. So think of it that way, guys. Join today in club. You're going to pass a couple on the way home, or go to planetfitness.com on your computer now. Join right now. It's Planet Fitness, Darren McCarty.
Where your fitness is essential.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
Hey guys, D-Mac here at Alta Uptime Matters. Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. You have a bog project coming up? Well, Alta Rent, they got you covered. Give them a call today, 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Terry Foster here in the house, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter as well. Happy you guys are with us. YouTube chat thread. And people are talking about it. Mark Walston says to be a horrible contract team, we are in a great spot. And that's wait till next year. It's almost all gone next year. So that's when you ride.
Runs out.
Yeah, and then even 2024, as we've talked about, the $90-ish million in cap space. I know they restructured Decker, so that takes a little bit of a dip, but whatever. Paul Thomas, Neal does a good job of mentioning us. So you guys are in this, man. Like, you're taking time out of your day to watch the show. Least I can do is, talk about what you say. If it's good, even if it's bad, whatever fits the narrative. That's what we'll go with. But T-Foss, you talked about it. All the people betting on the Lions to win the division. As I teased earlier in the show, there's another angle to this. And I would imagine that there's a big Hard Knocks effect to this every single year, because I know it happens to me, right? Like, I would bet you that more Lions are in fantasy drafts around the country than there probably have been in a very long time. And you were talking about money and betting and all that kind of stuff. Dan Campbell's getting a lot of run for Coach of the Year this year, which you said people are betting on them to win the division. I think that's pretty much the same bet. If the Lions win the division, Dan Campbell's a Coach of the Year. They go hand in hand.
Absolutely. But if Dan Campbell goes from 3 wins to 7 or 8, he could also be viewed as a Coach of the Year, unless somebody else somewhere just has an incredible season. Because Coach of the Year is not, hey, I was the best coach this year. Coach of the Year normally is you took a mediocre team to greatness or a bad team to mediocrity. And then the people who vote on that look at it and say, that was the most improved team, so we're going to give this guy Coach of the Year.
Yeah, you almost got to sort of guarantee you make the playoffs too, right? So that
well, the Lions were so low last year. I don't think they have to make the playoffs.
But don't you think that there's okay?
It helps, of course.
Okay, so are you saying that in contention, dependent if they have 7 or 8 wins, that I think that the big thing with Hard Knocks, to Terry's point, is that they're not going to sneak up on anybody. They're sort of on the radar. I think more so to the fact that Terry wants the money back. It was pointed out, it wasn't more so the diehard Lions fans, but the rest of the country buying into it. Right. So to that point, I think everybody knows Dan Campbell. If you ask this year compared to last year, obviously, who's the coach of the Detroit Lions, more people know Dan Campbell's name. So he's not going to sneak up on anybody. If that makes sense.
On the YouTube chat thread, Stephen Maffey says DJ Chark is proof of the culture change. A top free agent, give the Lions a discount on a prove-it deal just because he wants to play for these coaches. And since we are talking about Dan Campbell and the Coach of the Year money, T-Foss, I go to you for comment.
That's not necessarily the case. Maybe it was his best and only opportunity. He's going to get paid. It's a show. It may not be because I got to show myself. I love these coaches so much. It's a business. Maybe other teams didn't want him, or maybe other teams want to pay him a couple $1 million a year instead of what the Lions were willing to pay for him. The Lions are in a more desperate situation to attract guys with some speed, because what was the weakness last year? The wide receiver room. Now Dan Campbell is saying that the wide receiver room is probably our greatest improvement. That's because they were able to get guys in, and Chark is one of those guys. And I'm not convinced he came here because he loves these coaches. He came here because this was the best financial opportunity for him. And not everybody wants a wide receiver that's always injured. Let's throw that in there.
And that may be why the Lions were in that mix, Terry, where they even had to maybe, dare I say, overpay by a couple of bucks to get him. It could be a case. No one knows that except for DJ Chark and his agent. No one knows that. So, I mean...
And they're only overpaying for a year.
Right. And that's... Maybe that fit their narrative, where they came in at a little higher number and less commitment. Because that, again, freedom's power, man. Freedom, flexibility are power. Robert Closia says, D-Mac dropping F-bombs is why I'm here. So there's that. There's that
well, I got more.
Well. Yes, he does. No, but, again, look, you're talking coach of the year and stuff like that. And, D-Mac, you know my friend Dennis. And
yes.
we talk about him a lot. I always
terminal Lions
I
fan.
refer to him as my terminal Lions fan friend. He can't escape it. There's no cure for what he has. There's no medication. There's no treatment, Terry. He's getting all ramped up again.
I know people like that.
Yeah, he's getting all ramped up
Lions
again.
fans.
But he knows it. You know what he is? He's a high functioning terminal Lions fan. You know, like they talk about high functioning alcoholics. He's a high functioning terminal Lions fan. He still goes about his day and everything. Like, he can't kick it. There's nothing he can do, so he's learned to live with it.
No, he's an alcoholic, but a Lions.
But a Lions-aholic. He's a Lions-aholic.
Lions-aholic.
High-functioning Lions-aholic. And we were talking the other day, and he told me, he goes, as I watch Dan Campbell, I've never wanted anything more in my Lions life than for him to be a good coach, because I want that so bad with how he is, his mannerisms, all that. Because you like, right? You said it yourself, entertaining, very genuine. He goes, that may break me. Now, it won't. If nothing else has broken him to this point, that's not going to break him. But, like, the despair, I'm big on the eyes and I'm big on the voice. The despair in his voice when he said, if he's not a good coach, it could break me.
You know, 0-16 didn't break you. 2-14 didn't break you. Matt Millen didn't break you. This is not going to break him. He'll be right back.
I understand. And look, we know that. But D-Mac, again, you're big on this stuff too. The eyes and the voice.
Because of the love. It's like being in love. Right? You're going to throw your heart out there again because he's giving you some reason to love again. To commit 100% to the Lions. Dennis is giving it all. Here it is, Butterfly.
This is me.
On the Titanic. Let's go.
They always come back. This is the cycle.
Well, he's high functioning.
I think what it is, though, it's because you're setting yourself up because you're all in because you want this to work out. This is the fairy tale ending because this is the guy you want. You know, as opposed to bringing somebody in that maybe doesn't coach the way you want, goes with more of the militant Belichick, but it gets you results. No, you get results with this guy. You get the whole enchilada, the whole package of the feels and the wins and stuff like this. So I think it happens a lot. The question that came in my mind, Neal, is this like one of the first times or more that you can think that you wanted it for a coach? Because we've all wanted it for players in the past, right? It reminds me of, us in the 90s before we could ever win the cup, wanted it for Stevie, right? We've all wanted it for players. Like you look at the Ovechkin going for Washington going for the cup. You want to see him win. St. Louis. As a fan of different things, now is this the first time you really want to see a coach win? And I think maybe it is because he's got you invested in everything because it feels right. It feels right.
Terry, Mike G says, rooting for the Lions is like love, ? I think the Lions gave me an STD years ago. So
but you know what happens? Every April, May, June.
You get your penicillin.
Yeah, get your penicillin and say, you know what? If they get a couple more breaks, they can be good. If they finally hit on the second round pick, they're going to be good.
And this will all clear up.
Right. And then by August, they're all in. And then December, you ask, hey, what's up with the Lions? Man, fuck this team. I want nothing to do with them. They can kiss my ass.
Wait, Terry F-bombs are way better than mine.
They are.
And then April, hey, they lost half their games by one score. I can see them winning the division. It's every year.
So it's like herpes. Just keeps coming back.
It just flares on you. Yeah, it flares up every late September, early October. It flares up.
It's fair.
Like I get allergies in September.
Yeah.
Like I'm starting to get them already when I wake up in the morning.
Me
It
too.
takes a while to shake them.
The allergies to the fans.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. You
You
get a
can
flare up.
treat the symptoms for herpes, but you can't quite get rid of them. They're always there underneath.
Sounds like a Friday with Uncle Terry question.
At the Sun Bowl.
I did not get herpes at the Sun Bowl.
Where did you get them then?
I've never had herpes.
Aha. There you go. Breaking news.
I've never had herpes.
Right. And
No, there's no
there's-
wink. I have never had herpes. And I
What?
never will.
Okay.
I'm going to go through life without herpes. I guarantee.
You know what though? There was conviction. It's like I always say. For me, you're never going to hear about me dying from, like a shark attack. You're never going to hear that. It's never going to happen to me.
Not with me. I'm not going in the ocean ever again.
Yeah, it's never going to happen to me either, Terry. So no matter what, I can say never. It's never going to happen
You guys don't go in
to
the
me.
ocean?
What's that?
I love the ocean.
No, I'll go in the ocean, yeah, but I'm not like,
It's going to be like 3 feet deep. if I do.
100% where the waves are breaking and I'll goof around with the kids and stuff like that. But that's it. Like there's nothing for me out there.
Yeah,
That's
did you see
there.
Jaws? That shark came in close.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I got attacked by the Laguna Beach monster once.
Did you?
Yeah, I was there.
Oh, you know what they have out there now? They have mini sharks in the shallows now. But the mini sharks are like little bugs, and they nip on your toes and stuff. It hurts and it makes you bleed, but they don't kill you.
But they don't kill you. Exactly.
But
Lewis,
these are bugs. They're not. They call them mini sharks, but they're not actually mini sharks.
Paul Thomas said Matt Millen did break us. And I don't think so because we're here. We're all here.
I got more broken PO'd from Quinn and Patricia than I did, with Matt Millen.
I'm with you.
I'm
with you.
That's why this being so right, and I saw it in here too, somebody said, but Sheila's really the architect of sort of the change of bringing the right people in. She deserves her flowers because it's the culture. I think to Dennis, your buddy, Terminally Lions, that's what it is. Because you see he's genuine and he's the right guy. We want it because he's the right guy with the message and everything else coming out of there that we want it to be.
And I know it's down the road because it's not this year. I got to be consistent with it. It's not this year. But God, please be able to coach.
That's it.
Please
to your point that Brad Holmes, right? And you said this. Brad Holmes will bring a playoff victory to this
Brad
team.
Holmes
You
will,
have
yep.
not said Dan Campbell yet. I'm waiting for you to have the conviction to say
Well,
that.
I go to Rick Ross for comment.
When he gives you that conviction, you'll give it to him. So
Can't wait.
you know what? I have conviction where everybody else should on your hair. Yeah, exactly. You know where to go. Come to Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience, and it's your last month. Yes, the month of September is your last month to register to win the car of your dreams from Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac. So Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime, no appointment necessary. It's wicked awesome. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Be right back.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
For a limited time only, all new burgers and loaded fries at Big Boy. It's not a Slim Jim, it's the Big Jim. The chili cheese is such a tease. Guess what else is new? The Bacon Blue. How about upgrading those fries? Chili cheese fries, baked potato fries, nacho fries, what will it be? Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
Neal Ruhl here for oddstrader.com, the #1 site for all of your game day betting activity. Play-by-play updates, live scores, and the best price on every game from multiple sports books right there in front of you. Not opening a bunch of apps on your phone and going back and then going forward and then trying to get the bet in and the game's starting in 30 seconds and you got to get there. Why would you give anything away? Why would you take a number that doesn't make sense when there's a better number out there? That's where oddstrader.com steps in. Go to oddstrader.com right now. Download the OddsTrader app. However you want to do it, just go to OddsTrader and find out how you can get your best bet. On and poppin', Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, D-Mac, T-Foss, Terry Foster, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter as well. Paul Thomas says, T-Foss, stay out of the strip clubs and you should be all right. In your promise.
I will do that. Haven't been to a strip club in a while.
Monday.
Oh, Monday.
And speaking of that, right. Monday night, the Monday night football broadcast, Woodward Heavyweights live from the Coliseum.
Oh, yeah.
What do you got? It's so on brand.
We're so excited.
What can people expect from that, man?
Oh, you can expect drinks flowing, good times. We're going to have VIP lockdown. We're going to do our show from 5 to 7 from VIP, recording live from there. And then,
no.
Oh, yeah. And then we're going to have the game going in the background. So we're going to stay there for the game as well. So, yeah, Monday night. Every Monday night, all football season.
Now, let me ask you this. You're doing the show live from the strip club, right?
Yes, sir.
Do you have to fuzzy out the background? How does that work?
We're gonna clothe one of them, and we're gonna bring her on. We're gonna give her a heavyweights T-shirt. Bring her on. She'll make the picks for us. We were thinking of different stuff we were gonna do. We were we could come back from commercial and have one of them crawl out from under the table or something like that.
All right, let me give you a little piece of advice.
Yeah.
When you put the stripper in a heavyweights T-shirt,
yes,
make sure it's a size medium.
For sure.
Because it pushes the boobies up.
There we go.
Oh, look at T-Foss. That's a little... Was that Sun Bowl? You learned that at the Sun Bowl?
No, it's just a little inside
Fridays,
information.
stick around Fridays. Choose your own adventure with Uncle T.
Yep, Terry Foss. Story time with Uncle T. I think in honor of that, Terry, for Friday, you have to think of a good strip club story. A choice of 2 strip club stories.
Okay.
From back in your day.
Whatever you want.
There you go. So that's... We'll lay it all out, and then
here we go.
We'll let you guys vote.
I'll
you can choose your own adventure.
It's a little bit G-rated, so I don't curdle your milk. So I don't want to scare you guys.
Right, and that is true. Coquet says anyone who went through 0-16 and is still here is unbreakable, and yeah.
Right.
That's true. Andrew Klingerman, if Campbell wins a playoff game, build him a statue. They build statues in Ann Arbor for less, so why not, right?
That was a shot.
No, it is a factual statement.
I knew you were going to say that. No, I'm not throwing cakey shots. I'm just presenting facts.
You know what? That one wasn't tone. That was a flat out cross and bow. You let that baby go.
I am by no means a Bo Schembechler apologist, but he did win Big Ten titles, a lot of them. He did get to Rose Bowls. He didn't win very many of them, but that is sure better than one playoff win. Come on now. No, you're trolling. You're trolling, man.
2-8 in the Rose Bowl.
That's
no one in the history of college football will be 2-8
Sam said
in the
that
Rose
they
Bowl
put him up
again.
for Big Ten titles.
Which he won a lot
the
of.
Big Ten was a big deal back then.
That's what I mean.
See why? When Wisconsin was a joke, and Purdue was a joke, and Indiana was a joke.
Ohio State was in the league.
Always hijack the show.
I don't make a big deal about it. It gets to become a big deal all on its own, D-Mac. I didn't do that.
Playoff wins to a Big Ten title. That sounds like
when there's only 2 teams that can win them.
You still got to beat Ohio State. They were a powerhouse as well.
Yeah, and they did it half the time back then.
Which is about on brand. That's fine with me. If Michigan wins half the time, that's okay. Especially with what I've had to deal with in my fandom. But the Rose Bowl record, that is indefensible. I will give you that. 2-8 is just.
I was told the Rose Bowl was the only thing that mattered, Terry. Right?
Well, getting to the Rose Bowl is the only thing that mattered. Not winning it.
Well, as we can tell by the statue that was built for going 2-8 in it, for winning it 20% of the time.
And by the way, the 10-year war, Bo was 5-4-1.
Yep. And how many national championships did Ohio State win during that stretch?
Was it 2? 1?
Some.
Archie Griffin, 2.
Some.
Yeah.
I think it was 2. Michigan did not win 1.
No.
But they did get screwed a couple times.
Oh, did they? But
yes.
they ran out of time, or it rained on one side of the field,
it was the time where
the timekeeper.
They're
Which
like,
one was it?
No, they went through a 3-year stretch.
They didn't pay
Sitting in there
players.
smiling.
Can I finish, Mr. Schneider? They went through a 3-year stretch. They were 30
down in your little bunker.
2-1 and never went to the Rose Bowl.
Cool.
Because your boys at Michigan State, when you voted them not to go. Those are your boys.
They're not my. See, that's where you guys get it all twisted.
I thought you were neutral.
Did I ever mention them?
No, Terry just said.
Yeah, that's funny how I never bring them up, and then everyone gets.
Yeah, but
Isn't that weird, Spence?
do you work for Oakland University?
I do.
What's the relationship between Oakland and Michigan State? They're cousins.
It used to be a satellite campus of Michigan State.
Right.
Then we fought hard and gained our independence.
You even got Michigan State to come to your little 5-seat arena and play a game there.
We did.
Right. Mm-hmm. That's your cousins.
We did. We're the last time an SEC team came there. We won.
Michigan
Georgia.
State and Oakland kissing cousins?
Against Georgia.
Right.
We beat Georgia.
I know that. And did you
And
beat
Tennessee.
Oklahoma State?
And Texas A&M. And
I thought
Oklahoma
you said
State. Yeah.
tennis. No, it was basketball.
It was
yes.
basketball. It was, Terry. No, I'm just saying.
It's a fine program.
With 1/10 of the budget that a Power 5 basketball team has, That's what it is.
Shout out Campy.
Shout out Greg Campy. Shout out Golden Grizzlies, man. Let's do it.
Greg Campy is an institution in this area.
Absolutely. Lions Eagles. It's going down, and we get to talk about it. And look, just kind of I don't think that we're fully wrapping our head around that right now. Like, even though we know it's Sunday and we know there's a game tomorrow night, like Rams Bills.
Yeah, Rams
tomorrow
Bills.
night. Like,
Great
it starts tomorrow. Do we grasp that, D-Mac? Are we aware? I don't feel
yet.
it. Yeah.
I don't feel fully yet. I think that as we get closer, I think once tomorrow's game goes off, I think coming in here Friday, having an NFL game having kicked off, it might feel a little bit more. But no, I think going into the first week of the season, it is a little subdued. But is that because people aren't as hyped because it is Philly and because maybe the expectations?
No, here's my theory. I think we're a little bit removed from the NFL scene because of the charade we have going on in Ann Arbor with the quarterbacks. The Cade McNamara didn't play his best, probably lost his job based on what happened with Colorado State. I'm sure J.J. McCarthy will clown Hawaii and do whatever he wants to, and he'll be the starting quarterback.
So it all went according to plan.
Yes. Yes.
We'll talk about that later. I'm on Lions Eagles right now. Are people still scarred by what happened last year?
Yes.
Where the Eagles just pulverized them in that game. But I think Lions had like 270 yards of offense.
Yeah.
In that game.
Jalen Hurts had like 150 yards rushing.
They just ran over the Lions.
I'm not a big Hurts fan, but that's what scares me, right?
So
We're going to find out real early about the mobility of our linebackers and our secondary because, they're going to come out. Why would they change anything up until Detroit proves that they can stop whatever they brought in last year? So I think that everybody might be just sort of a little bit skeptical. And expecting like Philly to come in here and we better be ready. So,
what linebackers are you talking about? My understanding is the Lions are going to surprise the NFL. They're going to play a 7-0-4 defense.
I don't even know what that means, but that sounds like no linebackers in there. Like when you don't put even though I know the 4-4-2 or whatever like this. So no linebackers. Well, maybe.
No linebackers.
All right,
stick them up. All right.
On the YouTube chat room, Lou SM YouTube chat poll it: Lions or Eagles? Boom.
We already did this. They have them going 15-2.
No. Lions v Eagles. Who you got? Let's put it out there.
You know what the interesting thing is you brought up there is that when we did that one day when we did who's gonna win and stuff like this and it came out 15-2. I think the reality to picking them each week will
be more real,
more realistic. I'll start Philly. Are we going against the spread?
No, just who's gonna win the game?
Who's gonna win the game?
Philly's going to win the game, and I hope that we keep it in and keep it within a single digit. I think that the ability that maybe not get blown out as bad as last year, but still the blowout watch is still viable. Now, do I think that we can put up points? Do I think our offense will be able to move? Do I like what I saw to Jared Goff? Am I excited to see what he can eventually do? Yeah, but I don't know if they have an answer. Right? That's the thing. You know, if you're Philly, you know exactly as the players or whatever what you did last year. Jalen Hurts has confidence over the Lions and has confidence. So hopefully Ford Field makes a difference. Hopefully opening day makes a difference. All this other stuff, the energy and stuff. But I look at Philly winning this game.
Man, 44-6. The Eagles won that game. Jalen Hurts threw 14 passes for 100 yards.
Lions had 228 total yards.
Good Lord. Here's a great question. I'll pose this to T-Foss. Stephen Baffey. What happens if the Lions get rolled week 1 in front of the best crowd in years? They recently released standing room only tickets. Mm-hmm. It's becoming a hot ticket. The hopium will be flowing. What happens, T-Foss?
The community will turn into trash. They will scream, same old Lions. But that's partly their fault. I'm optimistic about the Lions, and I still say they'll win 7 games. They're not going to have a winning record.
I agree.
But you got clowns around here. Oh, they might win the division. They'll be 9-8 at the worst. You know, look, it's a building football team. They're not very good. They're being motivated by a motivator and motivating assistant coaches, but they're not good yet.
Yeah, it's just
that's the bottom line.
What happens, D-Mac? If they get rolled, dude, what happens?
No, it depends how they get rolled, right? It depends because it's all about more or less the effort and what we see. And if we see,
is that good enough though?
Same things. Like it's about.
Nah.
Is the 49ers game last year good enough?
Because it's the first game, right? You got 3 weeks, right, to come out at least 1 and 2 to show that there's something that is different before people bail. I would think.
I think what he's saying, not losing, but getting rolled, like getting mollywopped.
Like the same way if you prove that you can't put touchdowns on the board, if you don't put 2 touchdowns on the board, put 20-some points, right?
Let's say
it could go bad early, Neal. If that's what you want from me, is that you want me to say, do people make too much of it too early? I believe they would if they get mollywopped.
Because there's so much optimism here. Like if Philly rolls in and beats them 34-6 or 34-13, this place is going to be on fire.
See, but 34-21 ain't a mollywop. You know what I'm saying? I think the fact that, do we agree that...
I'm talking 44-6. You have 260 yards.
Again? Hockenson deal might need to get done soon because Dawson Knox just got paid 4 years, $53 million with
the Bills,
31 guaranteed.
With the Bills,
4 years, $53 million. So what's
Trying
that?
to do the math.
12 and a half.
Yeah, 13-ish.
Yeah,
call it 13.
So if Dawson Knox
13
is
and a
making
half.
that much, and I don't think Hockenson's a little bit better than Dawson Knox.
To Neal's point. Neal, what have you been telling us about the Hockenson and where it's at and first round and everything?
You know what? Let's do that. Let's take the break and let's discuss that because it's coming to fruition now. And Terry's going to get mad at me because we're going to talk about money. We're going to talk about money, and Terry's going to get upset.
No, I'm going to let the man have his moment. I'm not going to get mad.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, let me tell you about the Sports Marketing Agency. They help spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their podcast called This is the F Word. It spreads awareness of fentanyl and the other addictions that, let's cut the crap, everybody. They're plaguing our community as we speak. Go to thesportsma.com. Again, if you're struggling, if you know somebody else that's struggling, thesportsma.com, the Sports Marketing Agency, they're here to help.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risk, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Hey! Hey, it's Scott from the Woodward Bet Show. It's Wednesday, one more day closer to NFL football time. Hey, we're ready. Are you ready? If not, make sure you come check us out at 4:30 to Woodward Bet's YouTube page. You guys also got to get over to that app store and download oddstrader.com. It's got live scoring, play-by-play updates, the best place to check all the odds of sports books right in the palm of your hand. But hey, fun coupons. Let's not forget about those. That's what we're here for. Listen, Alec Manola's been pitching great. 2 earned runs in his last 20 innings. Sounds good to me. I'll take him against the Orioles. Oddstrader.com. Woodward Bets. Check it out.
What's going on, everybody? It's Spencer for the Foaling Warehouse in Hamtramck. You know it, you've heard of it. It's the home of the original football bowling pin game called Foaling. Multiple different ways you can play. They've got $12 open unlimited play. We can stay there open until close, have a good time. They also have private lane reservation, $120, 10 to 12 people. You get your own lane. You can bring in any type of food you want. If you get thirsty, they have a $2 mystery beer vending machine. You pop in $2, pops you out a good beer. No hassle, no fuss needed. If you know what you want or you want to make a decision, there are multiple fully loaded bars for you to choose from. So come on down, check them out in Hamtramck, or visit them online at foalingwarehouse.com. Again, that is foalingwarehouse.com.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, pulling up on the second hour of the show. Neal Ruhl, Matt Darren McCarty, Terry Foster as well. Check out a story about him in the Detroit News today as well. Saw that came across T-Foss. So,
a story about me?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Welcome to the family. Welcome to the family.
The family. Speaking of family, the stepchild of the family, Sam Flannel, is here in the house. We have Spencer Raxter as well. Happy to have you guys. And the news just dropped. As you heard, Spencer Raxter, good job by you chiming in for that. Russell Knox, the tight end Dawson Knox, the tight end for the Buffalo Bills. You said 4 years, 53 and change?
4 years, yep, 53.6 with 31 guaranteed.
Okay. Spot Rack, my Bible that I use, that Terry hates, a website that Terry thinks is worse than pornography, and it should be shut down right now.
Nothing wrong with
Never.
Right now has TJ Hockenson at a current market value of 4 years and $54 million. So it's T-Foss, look, man, and people get mad at me about this. You're of that community as well. People got mad at me, D-Mac. Remember we did the show back in July, and I was like, oh, hey, by the way, like TJ Hockenson, man, that it's coming up to it. He's in his walk year. Like, what are we going to do with this? And I was like, oh, just let the season play out. This financial stuff, D-Mac, is just as important as what happens on the field, man, in some cases.
True, but you have to have players on your roster.
I understand that.
Well, I am putting you in charge. What do you do with TJ Hockenson?
And that's my question.
So isn't it a little different, Neal, as you're explaining and we're talking about it, that is, if you're a team that has a guy at the top sort of the limit, then the money's really not going to change. He might make a few more here, a few more there, but you know what bracket you're going to have to be in to re-sign him. Say the Kelce's, the Kittles, the Mark Andrews, guys that have proven themselves. It's when these other comparable guys that are signing their second deal, or somebody else, where you would compare. Would you compare Knox and Hockenson as far as where they're at in their careers? And I think Knox has maybe more production, but also too you have to look at it that this is a comparable contract-wise and stuff like this. And if another team signs a guy and spends a little bit more money at a position where you're going to have to, that plays into it too. Because the guy's agents, they're looking for it too. I see somebody in the chat thread say, well, we could franchise him and not have to worry about it and do that. Well, then you're going to lose him.
You're paying him more money. Well, you're paying him more money.
You're paying him more, but then you have the ability to lose him if he's part of the team. I think that what you need to do, and so my question to you, Terry, is does this tell you because the Lions haven't extended him yet, not that they've had to, but they have to look to it, is because they're waiting to see, they want to see more out of him, they want to see him healthier, or do you think is it a time thing, or
they like him but they don't love him?
Okay.
But the thing that they have to understand sometimes, maybe it's better for you to set that first contract because everybody else is going to be higher. When you wait because you don't want to pay the money, then you ended up costing yourself. Well, the contract's going to be more.
And Pistons Fan 11 YouTube chat thread asked me about Hawk again after this season. But you have to know what you're doing. You have to anticipate that. Like, look, The Ravens are playing this game right now, and there's a little bit less of a degree of risk for the Ravens because Lamar Jackson's going to be the highest paid quarterback in football. Is that fair?
Fair.
Is that fair? That's not outlandish, right?
That is fair.
$50 million a year. It's a nice round number and everything to it. It slots perfectly.
Yes.
The Ravens waiting right now. They're waiting. And Lamar said, hey, if we don't get this done, we're shelving it. And I'm not talking until after the season. Mm-hmm. What if he wins MVP? What if they win a playoff game? Now, you could flip that around and say, what if he gets hurt? Yeah, what if he gets hurt? But what if he wins MVP?
Price of a brick's going up.
White tan bricks.
Yep.
Bricks. No, I mean, but that's what happens.
Yeah.
And that's not quite the same example as with Hockenson because he's already at the roof. The ceiling is the roof, to quote Michael Jordan. And he's already at the roof to where the Ravens can wait because how much more is it going to go up, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Not much more.
Not much more. If he wins the MVP, because he's got a league MVP already.
Yeah, it'll go up a couple million, maybe.
For me, it's just with this thing, and I know we got it in the YouTube chat thread right now, would you pay TJ Hockenson $14 million a year? 67% of the people are saying no, Terry. And we love re-signing our people, D-Mac. We do we not? Because remember when they re-signed everyone?
Here's the whole thing, is that I wouldn't have a problem paying him $14 million if he was worth $14 million. If he was a top 4
Is he $14 million right now?
No. He's
Is
got
he, Terry?
Durability.
Right here, right now, no. But he could be.
He could be. I agree. He could be.
So
but it's not going to be that.
Maybe you get him the $14 million out before he shows out this season, and it's worth like $15 or $16 million.
And that's where I'm living, Terry. What if he's your guy and you knew it? What about back in July or June?
For 12 and a half.
Bingo, and everyone would have been on board because the numbers never go down, Terry. They only go up. And look, you can say here's what Knox's numbers last year: 49 catches, 580 yards, 9 touchdowns.
That's cute.
That's cute. What it is? Like what if Hockenson goes 912 with 70 catches? Club's going up on a Tuesday.
That's cuter. Yeah, 16.
Yeah, you're going to offer him $14 million. He's going to say, pfft, no
These
thanks.
are the things. These are the things where when we talk about finances and money, it's big. It is.
It's huge. I said it.
These are the nuts we talk about.
They're huge.
Absolutely.
Right.
But decisions that have to be made, right? And Neal, a lot of easier decision. Back to the conversation earlier. If you didn't have $18 million on the books, right, and the thinking ahead to have to pay guys that aren't here, you have to get it. You're gonna good teams. Here it is. Good teams get ahead of these things, right? Good teams get ahead. Maybe that's why we expect Buffalo to be, a contender for the Super Bowl this year. So they're further ahead than Detroit, so maybe it's just them doing what Detroit will eventually do. Does that make sense?
No, it does, and I think Mark Andrews took a discount. He's at $14 million a year. He likes it in Baltimore, so he probably took a little bit of a hometown cheese on that one. But just to give you a comp, and this one I think is more the comp, because and this is how this works, Terry. You've talked to agents before in your life. D-Mac, you've talked to agents, but you're never a good example for this stuff.
He's talked to agent.
Yeah. You've talked to agents before, Terry. David Njoku becomes the example at 13.7 a year. Mm-hmm. Is Hockenson better than Njoku?
Yes.
So if I'm the agent, that's where our discussion starts. It's not where it ends. It's where it starts.
You got to pay me more than that guy.
100%. And it goes from there. And they say, what about Mark Andrews? What about Mark Andrews? He took a discount.
Yeah.
So, it's just, those are some of the things that I talk about. That's why it's big.
And you know what agents have? They have mouths to feed, too. They want to get paid. They want that 3% to be as high as possible.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Zach Conley says we overvalue Hockenson. That'll be a good YouTube chat. Do we overvalue Hockenson? That'll be a good YouTube chat poll. But it's certainly something that we're going to continue to discuss. When we come back, the much anticipated interview with Matt Deutsch. He's a founder of the Bettor Sports Network. He also founded SiriusXM's Fantasy Sports Channel. We're going to put Sam Flannel drafting Patrick Mahomes 4th overall to the absolute test. And we'll get an expert in here to see what he says. He'll let us know what he's up to as well after I tell you about my good friends at Gypsy Vodka and the Mulligan, made with Gypsy Vodka as well. It's the official drink of summer. You still got time to get out to the golf course and knock some of these bad boys down. Remember, they're 8%. Act accordingly. All right, don't be out there acting the fool. Take it easy. But they do taste great, that is for sure. If you're on the golf course, hang out in the backyard, the Mulligan is calling your name, made by the fine folks at Gypsy Vodka. Get it on a golf course. Get it at a Total Wine store near you. Or, some of you like the original, Gypsy Vodka, the best tasting, best valued vodka on the market, made in Petoskey. It's Gypsy Vodka, everybody. As always, I've been trying to stress this, drink responsibly.
The Sports Marketing Agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
New to the game or a seasoned bettor? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader Bet Tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
Neal Ruhl here for Chili Peppers Tanning, where you can join the Pepper Club and get all the best deals. They'll beat the competitive prices by at least $5. You can check out all your unlimited tanning options as well. Chili Peppers Tanning has the hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, and the darkest tans. Go to chilipepperstanning.com. Find out which one of their 26 locations in Metro Detroit work best for you. It's Chili Peppers Tanning.
Chili Peppers Tan.
Chili Peppers Tanning, absolutely. And welcome back to Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Terry Foster here in the house. The infamous Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter as well. And right now, as promised, we're joined by Matt Deutsch. He's the founder of the Bettor Sports Network. Long-time media career as well. Was out with WFAN in New York, Sirius XM as well. And the reason, Matt, one of the prime reasons we wanted to we want to talk about the Bettor Sports Network as well, but one of the prime reasons we wanted to reach out to you here, this has been big, and you launched Sirius XM Fantasy Sports Network. So you're a little more experienced in this than most. But Matt, I want to run this by you. Our guy Sam Flannel here, regular scoring league. People said they want the parameters to be down. He's got the number 4 overall pick. He takes Patrick Mahomes. How could Sam Flannel do such a thing, Matt? How are you, man?
Oh. No volume? All right, Matt's trying to answer right now, but we're having a little bit of a...
I got you now, guys. Thank you,
go.
D-Mac and Neal and Terry. So happy to be with you today, and we could talk all about Bettor Sports Network. But let's get to the serious business of fantasy football. Of course, it's peak season for us to be drafting. We're on the clock all across the country. And taking a quarterback in the first round is not something that a lot of people would do. Of course, it's a lot easier to probably get a running back who's going to get a lot of carries and a wide receiver who's going to get a lot of targets and get your quarterback later. But who am I to say that Sam doesn't have it right? Like, why can't we take a quarterback at 4 overall and zig when everybody else is zagging? It depends on what kind of running backs he was able to acquire. If he was able to get somebody like a Josh Jacobs or a David Montgomery or a Cam Akers, who could potentially blow up and finish as a running back 1 in the top 12 at the position, then why not Mahomes? Now, my biggest problem with it, guys, is that I've got Josh Allen as the number 1 quarterback on the board right now over Mahomes.
And Matt, and again, appreciate you joining us here on Big D Energy. That's the rub, right? If your quarterback's going to be 100 points more than every other quarterback, then we're with it. We're down. But it's Sam Flannel. You know, and he didn't go that route. He was going to die on the hill for Mahomes, and that's the way that he went. And, you know, Matt, again, I appreciate you taking the time. Look, and we're cutting him up. And you were – can we agree, Matt, that you were very easy on Sam Flannel right there? Be honest with me.
Well, fantasy football should be about fun. If Patrick Mahomes is your favorite player and you want to root for Patrick Mahomes every week, let's draft Patrick Mahomes. There's not one way to do it here. So I'm not going to say he did the wrong thing. Now, it just depends on the rest of the team context. So it depends on who else he was able to get here. And who's to say Patrick Mahomes won't finish as the #1 point scorer this year?
I got to give it up because he does have David Montgomery on his team. And the rest of his team, he's got Metcalf. The rest of his team, as Neal says, is he's got a good team. It's just how he got there was crazy. I'm going to bring it back to here in Detroit. Who do you have on this roster? Obviously, the Hard Knocks has been the big discussion. We're all drinking the Kool-Aid, most of us here in Detroit. But let's talk about stats and availability. You know, guys that pop out, obviously, DeAndre Swift, who your boy Sam Flannel thinks has 1,000 yards in him this year. TJ Hawkinson's a point of contention, a tight end, or even Amon-Ra St. Brown. Is he going to put up yardage? Who on this, and let alone the quarterback and Jared Goff? Can you give us a little bit of insight of how you think the Detroit Lions players are going to do this year in fantasy?
I would be thrilled to, D-Mac. I've been waiting all year for this opportunity. I'm the one New York, New Jersey guy who's talking Lions for the last 4 months. This is before Hard Knocks. I study the depth charts. I've got Detroit. Certainly the offense is going to have a huge improvement this year. They lost a lot of close games last year. I love the coach. I'm drafting my teams. I'm taking DeAndre Swift as early as I could get him. I'm not going to take him over Jonathan Taylor of the Colts, but I'm going to take Swift as early as 5 overall. I'm taking DJ Chark in every league that I am in. DJ Chark is the player to have. If you have an IR spot on your bench to be able to stash a player who's hurt, absolutely, Jameson Williams will be a league winner for you this year, coming in around weeks 12, 13, 14 for those playoffs. I think Goff will be smarter. You got the best offensive line in football. You got an excellent tight end, Hockenson. I'll give you a sneaky week 1. That's Josh Reynolds, who had quite a rapport with Goff. So you can see that I'm very high on the Lions. I don't want to say I said they're going to win the North, but I kind of said it. So I'm putting the Lions up top, and it's nice to be on in Detroit where I could be appreciated, rather here in New York and New Jersey, laughed out of the fantasy and betting circles for talking Lions for the last 4 months.
Oh, well, you might get. Don't worry, we're a little bit harder here. Here we chew out.
Yeah, I'm laughing at you.
You're gonna get laughed at.
Terry Foster's laughing at. But we're joined by Matt.
I'm worried about the linebackers. We've all seen what Azzaloni can do. You don't really have the linebackers to stop anybody. I'm worried about that. I like the defensive line. I like this linebacker that got drafted out of Boise State, though. He might be a 6th-round pick. He might have something, but you're not going to stop anyone on defense with those linebackers. You're going to have to outscore people this year.
Matt Deutsch joining us here, founder of the Bettor Sports Network. We'll talk about that in just a couple of minutes. But, Matt, you launched SiriusXM Fantasy Radio. When you did that back in 2010, did you foresee this day? I mean, everybody has a fantasy team. You really were at the forefront of something like that. So my question to you, Matt, how much more runway is there with fantasy? Because, look, as one of the OGs that did a league when I was a kid, that we had to pull the box scores out of the USA Today when Jeff Blake was lighting it up for the Cincinnati Bengals, and that's how we operated our league, I'm a bit upset with it now because anybody can just go to a computer, dial up a rankings thing, and pick a player. Back in my day, Matt, you had to work for it. You had to walk uphill both ways to get your players and get good players out there. I guess my question is, how much more runway is there in fantasy football?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I'm right there with you, Neal, at the USA Today, the American League on Tuesday, and the National League stats on Wednesday. I wasn't going to college class. I was writing out stats for my fantasy baseball leagues in my black and white notebook. And then, of course, such a passionate sports fan and the rise of fantasy sports. When I was at WFAN as a sports radio producer, we weren't allowed to talk fantasy sports on the radio, a lot of it because the fantasy sports community knows the rosters better than almost any host that's out there. I mean, the host taking live calls from fantasy football players to get laughed out of the room because we know all 54 players on the roster. So when I got to SiriusXM, I had the dream of creating an all fantasy sports radio network, and with the help of Steve Cohen, to get our CEO Mel Karmazin to say yes, we launched Fantasy Sports Radio in 2010 on SiriusXM. It did so many innovative things, from having Maurice Jones-Drew hosting a weekly radio program on Friday night. He was the number 3 pick in the draft that year. We did fantasy football drafts from the Alice in Chains band's personal league. We did all sorts of fun things, and so certainly fantasy sports is not going anywhere. The Fantasy Sports and Gaming Association research has shown that fantasy sports is actually growing. Even with the legalization of sports gambling, you're always going to have people that want to share in their love and engagement for sports together. Betting is great. I'm in a legal state. We have 13 different mobile apps to bet on, but it's really a one-on-one right now. There's a lot of social gaming coming in, but it's not as social as fantasy sports are, when you can get in a room or be online with your closest friends or work colleagues and compete and engage in sports together. There's all sorts of ways that fantasy sports is innovating, of course, with great technology. The leagues are embracing fantasy sports, and there's new ways to weave it in with sports betting. On Bettor Sports Network, we do fantasy drafts of team futures or of betting. So with the first pick overall, I'm going to take the Lions to win the Super Bowl. That's my bet, and I get the odds. In the second pick overall, you might take Patrick Mahomes to throw over 5,000 yards. So there's all sorts of ways to innovate with this technology that we have now. Fantasy sports is something that is always going to be there, because we always want to interact and engage with family, friends, colleagues, and there's no better way to do it than fantasy sports. And let's face it, that it's nice to be able to play fantasy general manager. This all started because when we were watching TV, we were watching D-Mac play hockey. We could say, well, I could put a better NHL team together, but Scotty Bowman could put together. I could coach this team better than this coach could do. So that's where it comes from, that we can have our own fake football and our own fake baseball and find ways to be a little bit more invested in the games we love with family, friends, and colleagues.
Matt Deutsch joining us here. Go ahead,
Terry. Isn't that the main thing? You want to kick your friend's ass, your best friend's ass? That's why fantasy won't go away.
That's exactly right, Terry. And it's not about the money. Everybody is locked into, let's play for money. Let's play for more money. I play for bragging rights. I play for fun prizes, right? There's nothing better than having someone run out in the middle of Detroit with a sandwich board sign on them saying, I lost my fantasy football league, and have them sit out there naked all day. Or these bets where people have to sit in a Waffle House and eat a waffle every hour for 24 straight hours as their movie prize. So these are the fun things that fantasy sports can do. And it's been wonderful that athletes are embracing this now. You could get in a league and play with Juju Smith-Schuster. You could get in the league and play with Des Bryant. Athletes embracing the community, and the leagues are embracing the community. Celebrities play fantasy football and fantasy sports. So you're right, Terry. It is all about razzing your friends.
I think that's a huge thing, where the difference is not only do you talk about it in every format like we're doing today and interact, but all the celebrities and everybody seems to be into it. My question to you is, what's your favorite sport to do fantasy of? Obviously, baseball and stuff, you get to do it all, but there's got to be a different plug for you. I mean, just to hear you talk about your passion for Detroit Lions being in New York is something that I sort of like you, because you're a little off. So I already dig that part of you. But what is it about fantasy, or what's your favorite sport to do the fantasy of?
Well, D-Mac, people will say I'm a lot off. And certainly, the broadcast professional with Bettor Sports Network, football drives the bus, right? It's 80% of the market, NFL football, especially when it comes to fantasy and betting. So, for paying the bills, football would be my favorite fantasy sport to play. But to be fair, fantasy baseball, first sport I ever played in the fantasy world, and really the truest indicator of the best team winning. Let's face it, football, it's an oblong ball. It bounces in funny ways. Referees make crazy calls. Coaches make crazy play calls. In baseball, 162 games, 180 days. The best team's going to win. The stats prove true. So on one side, more people play football because it is more parity. Anyone can win, and that is the best part about it. It's inclusive. You don't have to know 300 different players to be able to compete. In fantasy baseball, I'm studying 750 players to get ready for the season. Of course, on Bettor Sports Network, we cover all of that, help people win, help people have more fun. We have the best talent, experts on to be able to help people. But really, it's more about engaging and having fun with fantasy sports. So I would say fantasy baseball, my favorite.
Matt Deutsch here, founder of the Bettor Sports Network. Lastly, Matt, before we let you go here, I did want to ask you about the Bettor Sports Network and just this parabolic growth, because that's what it is with digital sports media. Us here at Woodward, we have our Woodward Bet Show here. They do fantasy, they do betting stuff as well. The growth is parabolic, and just what about that angle? Why is it different now than even back in the radio days? Is it just the cameras? What is it about this digital sports medium, like us at Woodward, you guys at the Bettor Sports Network? Why is this so parabolic?
Well, thanks for asking. I'm so impressed what you guys have built with your app and your fine production quality. Kind of taking a page out of your book in the digital world. So I dreamed this up, Bettor Sports Network, just walking around my neighborhood all night as a longtime radio guy and thinking, why is it that we can't use the latest technology to really improve the way that sports content is presented? So the answer to the question is, it's a sky's the limit atmosphere. If you could dream it up right now, you could do it in this world. So we have a free app, free in the Apple app and the Google Play stores right now, Bettor Sports Network. We have innovative technology, guys. We have one push to call in, right? Why are we dialing 9 numbers to call into a radio show now? It's one push. Every other sector of our world is using technology, really, except sports media. So we built a one touch to call in. We built a live chat feature right in our live talk shows, and we have GPS technology. We call it a fun button, and you can interact with the hosts in real time by hitting our fun button and win fabulous prizes. We're giving away a signed NFL authentic jersey every show this week. Today, we're breaking open a box of 2022 NFL cards free. All you have to do is download the app and hit the fun button, and you have a chance to win. So it's really about technology allowing us to do anything we want to do in this world. We want to open up a pack of cards and give them away in real time. We could do it. We want to have D-Mac show us his collectibles and do a cool video of all the autographs that he's gotten and tell stories. We can do it. We can do all these things. And it's just a question of finding the right people on the team. Every time I ask for something from our tech team, they say yes. I have yet to been told that something I dreamt up cannot be done. So we're going to go full home shopping network with this thing. You'll be able to buy Steph Curry jerseys while we're talking about the NFL Finals. You're going to be able to mint your own calls as NFTs. How about this, Neal? You call in to Bettor Sports Network. You tell us that Patrick Mahomes is the number 4 pick overall. Then you press a button and we pull the content, we mint it on the blockchain, and we sell it to you. And you can put it in your digital wallet to say, this is my phone call to Bettor Sports Network telling their host that I know more football than they do. We're going to do it all, and the technology makes it happen.
Well, Matt, I appreciate the time. You'll never get that clip because I'll never do that. Sam Flannel might call in and might say that, but I'm never going to do that. Matt, appreciate your time, my friend. I'm sure we'll be running in the same circles, and good luck with the Bettor Sports Network, and we'll be in touch soon, man.
Thanks, Matt.
Big fan of what you do. Keep it up.
All right, Matt Deutsch, everybody, founder of the Bettor Sports Network. How about that Sam Flannel NFT, huh?
Yeah. I'd buy Sam Flannel NFT.
So would I.
I'm buying stock in Sam Flannel.
Especially when it crashes and burns. I can come in every morning playing his
but this guy, Matt was not
D-Mac,
rough on Sam Flannel. Can we expect him to be rough on him? This guy's putting money on the Lions winning the Super Bowl. How much stock can we put in that?
He wasn't putting his own money. He was giving you a for instance, Terry. Come on. Come on. Appreciate Matt joining us. A lot of fun to talk to him. Let me tell you about Cintron, the official energy drink of the Detroit Red Wings. They've combined all 3 of their delicious flavors into a limited edition 6-pack sampler box. Try Cintron's great tasting cranberry, classic, and sugar-free all-in-one Red Wings branded package. Pre-order your 6-pack sampler of Cintron at cintronworld.com/Red Wings. Get energized with Cintron, and let's go Red Wings.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer, Academy of Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new field house. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, learning street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Holton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
Neal Ruhl here for the Monroe Street Midway, reminding you it's still on and popping until September 25th. You can experience Detroit in downtown with roller skating, mini golf, art, live music, food trucks, and more. Fun, safe environment for everybody, ages 1 to 100. Go to deckedoutdetroit.com for more information. As Chris Jericho would say, again. deckedoutdetroit.com for more information. See you at the Midway. Again. Neal Ruhl, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, T-Foss, Terry Foster here in the house. Big thank you to Matt Deutsch, founder of the Bettor Sports Network, for coming on, and also a big thank you, Annie H. Hoffman, for setting that up. We appreciate that. But, we're doing it, and people were talking about, the fantasy. It's amazing. It is absolutely amazing. Abe, DFS, Docket, fantasy football is king. It's because, you know why? As much as I lament it, it's because somebody can pick up a list and just take the next name off the list and still have a chance to win. That's why. For real.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. Isn't it interesting, like you said, so many different ways to see where it's come from and to see the sort of the origins of even a network like that because it wasn't out there. And then with it is not just amazing. I think that you look at, if you haven't gone and checked out the Woodward Sports Network.com, the new website and the app and stuff, the interaction, you can see how things have evolved. So technology with sports, with fantasy, with everything else. I love the fact to say, don't tell me what, tell me who. So, I got a place to go. Whether it's on a radio, whether it's on a streaming or whatever, that they strictly do that. I love it. I put it in the same category as I love wrestling, and I love all the different wrestling information. Well, there's a place for me to go. Now there's a place for fantasy to go to talk about different things. And yeah, sky's the limit. And didn't that interest anybody else? The fact that I can't outthink technology to the fact
wild,
that somebody.
Isn't it?
No, that's awesome.
You don't think about it that way.
If you're a fan of getting something, or the interaction and the way that you have athletes that are involved in fantasy that never used to be the case, that you could be in a fantasy league that these guys are. I mean, we saw it in baseball where there was a fight in Major League Baseball in warm up or in the outfield because of a fantasy team between the Cardinals and
I forgot about
the
that,
Angels.
yeah.
Remember that?
That was pretty funny.
Everybody's involved.
Here was athletes' interaction with fantasy football a few years ago. There's a fan will go up and say, "Hey, I want to thank you because you helped me win my fantasy league." And the athletes are like, "Okay, that's nice. Now get away from me." That used to be the athletes with fantasy football. Now the athletes in the league.
Because it's a platform. It's another brand exposure platform, Terry. When you boil it all down, yeah, man, I'm happy I could do that for you. You got to draft me again. Follow me on Twitter.
Another form of social media.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? To connect with the
now
brand.
they're saying, I drafted me too.
Yeah, no doubt. Prag Patel, Neal, I think you mean exponential growth, not parabolic growth. Prag, no. Check out some of the sports media entities in this town and look at their YouTube followership, and then look at ours.
Hey,
and you tell me about parabolic growth and how it can be a thing.
Can you explain it to the rest of us?
I'm gonna.
D-Mac's gonna right now.
Hey, what's
He's
up,
looking it up, man.
Fuck this tape.
That's fair, though, right, Spence? I mean,
it's fair.
It's a factual statement.
Very fair.
And I always say
factual. Expressed in parables, beyond a spotlight projects a parable. What does it mean, Neal?
Like a stock, like when stock, like AMC stock.
Like a parabola.
Right, yeah. Like when AMC stock shot up 500% in an hour. They call that a stock as going parabolic.
Oh, it's like a rocket. Exploded.
Absolutely.
Exploded.
Explosion, yeah.
Stop.
It's like an explosion.
An explosion.
That's a better way to put it.
So it's not a containment, it's just sort of boom,
Correct.
there we go. Can't stop, won't stop. I love it. Okay.
So
Parabolic.
there.
Yes, I
is
agree.
that fair?
Parabolic.
Because it is.
Nuclear.
Okay, I'm getting educated.
You're the journalist.
I never heard of parabolic.
That's a math thing.
Oh, I understand. English and math don't mix.
Juice's Ghost, are you really looking up parabolic?
I was, but I couldn't get anything. But I hate it when the explanation has the same word in it.
Yeah.
It doesn't really give me anything. So like talking to Sam Flannel sometimes. What do you think about that? Hey, Sammy, like, what do you think that the guy from the Bet Network had said that if you love a guy, who is he to determine? He let you off easy. You got off easy, didn't you?
I was about to say we should have that guy on more often. I like that guy.
Oh, wow.
That
Can
is
we
a
take
winner.
a quick second though? Like, in all honesty, right? Breaking down how you draft. Like, if you put your fantasy team up there and didn't tell me you drafted Patrick Mahomes in the first round, 4th overall, I'm looking at your team going, that's a pretty good team. Wonder when you got Mahomes, like probably 4th round, 3rd round, 4th round, or whatever. Like, you got players on your team, and I saw you. Nobody else was in the room when they saw his face when Matt brought up the fact, but it depends on the wide receivers. If you got Josh Jacobs or David Montgomery, and Sam perks up, I got Montgomery, and we all know you got Montgomery.
You know
but
who's
look
the
at
next
that.
guy we could blast? Spencer.
Really?
If Spencer finishes behind Sam Flannel, loses head-to-head, well, we're dogging this man here. We got to get on Spencer's ass.
Sam's wide receivers are kind of weak. And his running backs are very dependent on like 2 injury-prone guys not getting injured. That's the only thing.
Aaron
So
Jones
you're not
is
afraid when you face him?
I'm not.
I think Aaron Jones' biggest problem is A.J. Dillon.
But Aaron Jones can catch out of the backfield better than A.J. Dillon, so that's kind of what I'm banking on, especially in a PPR league. Like you guys mock me and ridicule me all you want. Even Matt Deutsch was like, you know what? If that's what he wants to do, let him do it. I like this guy. Let's bring him back on every week. I love it. The validation. It's beautiful.
The validation.
I want to say I support the man.
I think it was just a guy trying to be nice, which is weird because he's a New Yorker.
Hey,
that's what made you
Detroit
notice.
ties somehow.
Yeah.
Juices goes Dale. The issue here is we're not looking at his bench. When you look over at your bench, if you lose one of your guys, you are in deep trouble.
Cooked.
I don't mind your wide receivers as much, but your bench is a little bit thin.
Tyler Boyd, Garrett Wilson, Dark Horse Rookie of the Year. Tony Pollard. We all know that Zeke Elliott is on the downswing. He might get the most carries. I'm just saying, there's a reason. There's a method to my madness.
You know what this lineup has the ability to do? The person on Monday, I should have started that guy.
Yeah,
that's the old I should have. You're going to get caught with that with Aaron Jones and Tony Pollard.
No, that's definitely going to happen a time or two. But that's everybody. Everybody has that moment where some guy in your bench goes for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns, and the guy you start gets injured in the first quarter. That's across the board. That's a tale as old as time. It's not unique to me.
You know what else is a tale as old as time? And no matter what, everybody with fantasy should have this, because Sam Flannel, he's for sure protect the Guardian Alarm. They keep you safe, give you peace of mind, whether you're at home or on the road, with their 24/7 local monitoring, making sure what is important to you stays safe. So, just like Sam Flannel, no matter who you pick with your 4th overall pick, Guardian Alarm will protect you. To give them a call today. 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
How many straight days of flannel protection?
128.
128 straight days of protecting the flannel, and they're going to have to pick it up because fantasy season is here. You can give them a call, 1-800.
Stay out. Get out of my house.
Make sure you let them know Woodward Sports, Big D Energy. We sent you.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you want to know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
If it's free, it's for all of us. Yeah, Big Frog.
Ribbit,
in
ribbit.
Novi. Free Woodward Sports t-shirt. That's right, a free Woodward Sports t-shirt all month long for the whole month of September at Big Frog in Novi. So stop in, tell them we sent you. They'll print you up, boom, bam, boom, right on the spot. Go to Big Frog Novi today. Get your free t-shirt or visit them online. BigFrog.com/Novi.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Terry Foster, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. Jump in that YouTube chat thread, Cocaine. Heavyweights live from a strip club every Monday will be entertaining. Yes, it will. Every Monday from 5 to 7 for their Monday Night Football extravaganza.
Make sure.
We
HR
don't-
department will make sure that it's done with taste.
For sure.
We don't do this a lot on this network for whatever reason, and I want to do it more. So that's why we're doing this. On Ermani and Edwards featuring Maz, they were talking about Michigan and Michigan State, shockingly. And the question they posed was, who's under more pressure to have success this season, Michigan or Michigan State? Ermani and Maz both said Michigan. Braylon said Michigan State. And I figured that would be a good thing for us to piggyback because we have one of each here. We have a Michigan Slappy. We have a Michigan State Slappy. They're both admitted. They both understand that. But Terry, for real, the journalist Terry Foster, big-time media member Terry Foster, in your opinion, who's under more pressure this year to succeed?
I think, without question, it's Michigan and Jim Harbaugh. First of all, he made a controversial decision to throw the quarterback position up in the air. So J.J. McCarthy could be the starting quarterback. Cade McNamara gave him a Big Ten title, beat Ohio State, made it to the college football playoffs. That could blow up in his face. Now, let's say Michigan finishes 8-4 or 9-3 or something, man. This fan base is going to be going nuts. And when you look at the Michigan and Michigan State job, when you look at the fan base, I think inherently it's more pressure to be the Michigan coach because the fan base is, I think, a little bit crazier. They want more. Jim Harbaugh wants 70% of his games. That's not good enough. If Mel Tucker finishes 9-3, do you think there's going to be an outrage to fire him, or there's going to be a lot of scrutiny about him? No. I don't care how much he gets paid. It's more pressure to be the Michigan coach, and then Harbaugh adds the pressure by having this monopoly at quarterback. Not a monopoly, but, just, I don't know what you call it, but it's just throwing it up for grabs.
Cluster?
Yeah, it's a filibuster or a buster. So I'm going to say Michigan.
D-Mac?
Oh, well, I'm Canadian. Don't have a dog in this fight. I cheer for all Michigan teams, except for when I'm told I got to cheer for State when they play Michigan because I married into it. Other than that, there's my thing. To Terry's point, because if Michigan's supposed to be everything that we're told and one of these teams that is at the top of not just the Big Ten but of the country, then we need consistency. Jim Harbaugh's got to show consistency, and the only way they do that is getting back to the playoffs, right? And how is that? At the worst, that this team can lose one game. In my opinion, that's to Ohio State because, again, their path to they could lose one game to Ohio State, as you said, Neal, and win the national championship. Is it highly unlikely? No, but that path is there. To me, all the pressure's sort of on them. I think that for whatever reason, if you look at Michigan State, they have a little bit of time because what Mel Tucker, he's proving, building the foundation more of what Michigan State's got going on is what Dan Campbell and the Lions have going on where they have time. Because you're right, the clock hasn't run out. To me, the clock expired last year with Harbaugh and showing me something. Now you have to come back, and I know you lost this guy and that, but But look at all the rest of these teams. Look at the Georgias and the Alabamas and these teams that are the best of the best in the country. Well, they keep producing and they come out and do that. So to me, the pressure is definitely more on Michigan because the expectations, and they've proven it, are higher this year because of beating Ohio State last year. And you can't just, if it's not a fluke, then you have to continually go out there year after year and show this. So to me, I think that as far as expectations, because I think that in the 9-3 season with State, even though they won more last year, you'll be able to look at it at how they did it of being a success or not falling backwards. With Michigan, if they don't, it's going to look, no matter what, as a regression. And then you're going to point to, well, if they don't succeed, it's because of the quarterback thing and because he didn't make a decision. If they do succeed, it might be because we talked about yesterday, this is his plan to allow it to play out in front of everybody else. So to me, I think that right now, we're all glued. Like, is everybody not 2 games in more so glued to the Hawaii game, which means nothing, just to see what J.J. McCarthy is going to be availed to him early on to see if the plan that is played out, Jim Harbaugh, him taking him further. So to me, the whole state, is at Michigan right now until we find out more.
And I literally keep going back and forth on this by the minute. I'll get to Sam Flannel in a second. I literally keep going back and forth on this because on the surface I want to say it's Michigan coming off the college football playoff, and they gotta determine and prove that wasn't a fluke. And they went 1-2 against teams with a pulse, I guess you could say. And that one was at home. They didn't beat anybody of substance on the road. They played Iowa, and look, we know what I think about Iowa and what the truth about Iowa is. But on the other hand, Cody Engel, I think, says it very, very well also. He says Jim has zero pressure. He could pee on the block end with an Ohio State shirt on, and he wouldn't be fired. And that's true. Nothing's ever going to happen to him.
That's a good point.
For whatever reason, nothing's. If it hadn't happened 7 years in, it's never going to happen. Now we know, Michigan's history. You can go 2-8 in the Rose Bowl, and you'll get a statue because that happened. That's not my opinion. That happened. Now, but we're seeing though, and look, I know it's late in the show, and this would have been a better take for later on, but you're seeing it put in place also. Why? Michigan, I don't think that they have a lot of pressure because already they moved from 8-4 by beating Colorado State and jumped Clemson, who won by 31 on the road at Georgia Tech, and it was in Atlanta, at the Mercedes Dome. Like, you're seeing it already. They get propped up.
Yeah.
They do. And then I know I'm going to take heat for that. And people are going to, if you can't see it now, then I can't help you. And there are reasons for it. And I've laid those reasons out. Huge television ratings when they played Ohio State. I get it, guys. I'm not complaining about it. I'm just not blind to it either. I see how this is going already. This is why, and I told you this before the season started. We told you this last week. This is why I'm telling you guys, Michigan can lose a one-score game at Ohio State, and they're going to the playoff. They are. Even if Ohio State wins a Big Ten. That's how it's going to go down. It's being set up this way already.
Unless they also lose to Michigan State.
Well, you win the games you're favored in.
Okay.
All they got to do is win those games, all those home games, those 100 home games they play, and win at Iowa, which I'll be told that week what a great win it is. I'm already being told that by Sam Flannel. What a great win it is to beat Iowa, who scores 7 points with 2 safeties against a 1AA team or FCS team, whatever lingo you want to use. It's already being set up. So is there pressure? Like, I don't think there is, because what would there be pressure about? With beating Iowa?
The only pressure is from the fan base. It's not the administration.
Right.
Because they kiss Harbaugh's ass. But here's the other thing that puts a little bit more pressure on Michigan. Jim Harbaugh's 0-2 against Mel Tucker. Some point he's got to beat him. If he doesn't beat him this year, shit's going to hit the fan. You're 0-3 against Mel Tucker? What's wrong with you? But see, neither coach is under pressure as far as job security. It comes from the fan base. And I think I think the Michigan fan base is a little bit crazier than the Michigan State fan base when it comes to evaluating their team. Yeah, when you talk about Spartans' hatred of Michigan, it's way crazier than Michigan fans are. But when they internalize their team, the Michigan fans put more pressure on the coach and say, you damn better win your 3-game season.
Right, because that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that's why I go back and forth on it. And yes, being ranked higher, it doesn't add pressure because it's set up that way.
Well, brother, you keep saying, I could going back and forth. What's your rationale to make Michigan State the more pressurized team?
They don't have that right now because
then
of where they are.
You're not going back and forth.
It's a lot like the line. But I'm saying though, is there any pressure on Michigan? Because they've proven for 7 years that you can be mediocre and it's accepted, and you'll complain about it, but you ain't going to do nothing about it.
Well,
right?
That's true.
What are they going to say?
Yeah,
at
but that's
Michigan
college
State?
football. That's not pro. Pro, they make changes. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's more.
You got coaches making $9 million a year, man. It's as pro as it gets. You got players making $4 million a year.
You're the first one to say it's a different machine. It operates as a different machine, right? The athletic director and to everything else, both the programs aren't doing it. It's to the fans. And if you don't think that the Michigan fans' expectations are higher than Michigan State's still wondering, losing a couple defensive guys. Like, what's that defense going to look at? That's what everybody's looking at Michigan State. Peyton Thorne, try to figure it out without K9 and stuff. But can you stop anybody? Because you haven't been able to last year, and that's what they're trying to figure out. But he's still got another year.
And you know what they're saying in Michigan? Lost Aiden Hutchinson and lost Ojabo. But our defense might be better. Everything is always better there.
Everything's always better at Big Boy, too, for limited time only. The all-new burgers and loaded fries are at Big Boy. It's not just a Slim Jim. It's the Big Jim. The chili cheese is such a tease. Guess what else is new? The Bacon Blue. How about upgrading those fries? Chili cheese fries. Baked potato fries. Nacho fries. Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy. It's a Detroit institution.
Burgers and fries. Hi, I'm John from Bettor Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Bettor Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Bettor Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Bettor Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome. Final segment of the show, Big D Energy. Neal Ruhl, Terry Foster, Darren McCarty, Spencer Raxter, Sam Flannel. YouTube chat thread. I have to address this. Captain Banana Peel. Penn State had a pulse. Iowa had a pulse. Wisconsin had a pulse last year. Guys, stop with this. Penn State, trash. Wisconsin, trash. Iowa's trash. Sam Flannel, I'm tired of your people, man, doing this. You have a 3-game season every year. It's Michigan State, it's Ohio State, and it's your bowl game. That's what you have every single year. Stop with this Penn State and Iowa and Wisconsin stuff. When's the last time either of them won a big game? Any of them. They're mid. They're absolutely mid. Tell your people to stop with this. And Sam Flannel's already starting with it. He's in the text the other night. You can't do that, Neal, because after Iowa scores 7 points without getting a touchdown, they get 2 safeties and beat another non-FBS team. He's telling me, Neal, and I say, Sam, you're not claiming that Iowa win this year. I'm cutting that off already. You're not claiming that as a big Big Ten win. They got pink locker rooms. You're not doing that, Sam Flannel. You're not getting away with that this year. They stink. They've always stink. Tell me a big win they've ever had. They're always going to stink. You don't get that. It's a 3-game season, and that's it.
Okay, but you can give them just like the little golf clap if they actually win those games. They still have to do that. You were talking kind of reckless in the chat, like they have to win by 17.
Yeah, they gotta go beat Iowa, who couldn't score a touchdown against the South Dakota State Jackrabbits.
You have to beat
That's
them.
why
You have
you
to
gotta
beat
go
them.
in there and punish them. Yes, my expectation is higher for that. It's not like going to Purdue. It's not like doing that. For whatever reason, Purdue, they can score, they can do those things. You have to go in there and choke Iowa out. That's what you have to do. I'm sorry. You're not getting away with it. And you're not claiming it as a big win. And I don't care if they play it at noon, at night, on Sunday, at the Coliseum with Woodward Heavyweights broadcasting. I don't care where they play it.
Hey, I'm not going to claim it as a big win, but it will be a win. And I think they should win. I think they should win comfortably, but that's fine. That's fine. That is an accomplishment, winning on the Big Ten on the road. That means something. I'm not going to say that it was a big win, but if they do win, it's just a win.
It's just a win.
And
It's
that's okay
just
with that.
another win over a mid-team.
But that's
It's
part
a
of
3-game schedule.
Hey, dude, the Jackrabbits defense might be legit.
Hey, the Iowa
You
defense
said
is
South
legit.
Dakota too, right? Not even North Dakota?
Brookings,
North
South
Dakota's the one that
Dakota.
they
It
praise.
It was North Dakota.
And they didn't play them in basketball where they go to the NCAA tournament every year. It was football. They're not even FBS in that, dude, so I don't want to hear it.
That Iowa defense, though, is legit. I think they could hold Michigan to 20 or 24, but then it would be like 24-10. That's my prediction, something like that, 17-24 to about 7-10. And that would be just fine.
No,
There's
it'd be
nothing
mid.
wrong. That's fine if it's mid, but you still got to win who's on your schedule. Come on now.
Yeah, it's really weird how that seems to be the schedule every year. And then we sit there and hype, oh, well, it's a big win at Wisconsin. It's a big win over Penn State. And all these teams have done nothing forever.
You're punishing Michigan for being in the Big Ten.
No. I give them a pat. I would create the schedule the same way. Both things can be true. I would set my schedule the same way. I would do exactly like Kirk Ferentz does. I would do exactly like Jim Harbaugh does. Because you can go beat Colorado State and jump 4 spots into the top 4 of the poll for no reason whatsoever.
That was pretty crazy. I'm not even going to lie. How did they jump Clemson, first of all? Because Clemson actually won 41-10 over a Power 5 team, even if it was Georgia Tech.
Well, why don't we just admit it? The Big Ten blows.
Okay, but you still have to play in the Big Ten.
I think the point is don't blow it out of proportion of how big of a win it is because of the talent.
Here we go. Wisconsin goes to a bowl game every year. We've been through this before, okay?
Ooh.
Every team that wins 6 games goes to a bowl game.
Those Duke's Mayo Bowls.
And guess what happens if there's not enough teams with 6 wins?
5-win teams.
They take teams with 5 wins.
Right.
And you know why that is, everybody? Because athletic directors get bonuses and football coaches get bonuses for going to bowl games. There were times, and it's in a book. I've read it before. We've talked about it. The Dan Wetzel book, Debt to the BCS. These bowls will reverse engineer the bowl pools. We pay $750,000. Will you take $500,000? Yes, we will. Will you take $250,000? Yes, we will. Okay, you're in. Hey, we won't take any money. We'll take the bowl because I get a $750,000 bonus in my contract. It happens, guys. Everyone goes to a bowl. Stop with the bowl game stuff.
Yeah, even the Chippewas go to bowls.
Yeah, tell me a big win Wisconsin or Penn State or Iowa have. Tell me a big win. I'll wait.
Well, Iowa beat Wisconsin.
No, but they beat each other. It doesn't count, Terry. They play till somebody wins. Damn you got me. Look at that. I was just, you know what? He was charter fishing off the coast of South Florida, and I was like a marlin. And Terry was like, fish on.
Come on.
Wisconsin won the Big Ten in 2012.
10 years ago.
And what happened?
So, and then they lost in the Rose Bowl to Stanford.
Well, you get a statue if you
And
lose
they
the Rose
also
Bowl.
lost in the Rose Bowl the previous year to Oregon and the previous year
to TCU.
TCU.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So TCU wins Rose Bowls.
Penn State won the Big Ten in 2016, lost in the Rose Bowl to USC.
Oh, wow. Weird. Tell me the big game they won. There are none.
Well, if you win the Big Ten, you have to
No.
have a big victory.
If you go back to 2004, Iowa beat LSU in the Capital One Bowl.
Almost 2 decades ago.
Yeah.
So it's a lot like basketball, the Big Ten with basketball.
Yes.
Okay.
Shout out Michigan State.
That's what it is. There's no opinion in that.
No.
So that's why, for me, that's what I buy, D-Mac. When you go slug it out with Georgia and you win, that's what I value. To me, that's winning. That's being successful. Not this creation that happens. But hey, if it's good enough for you guys, cool. It's fine. I don't care. Do what you want.
Great way to end it today, boys. Great way to end it.
I'm sorry I hijacked.
Don't worry, I'm digging into my bag. I'm going to get Neal something nice and relaxing for his evening.
I'm sorry that I robbed the people of Ask Terry Foster and D-Mac. We'll do it tomorrow.
Now we're good. We do it tomorrow.
No, that
Absolutely.
was more fun.
Don't forget Friday, too. Story time with Uncle T.
I'm ready.
Best strip club story. He'll give you 2 options. 2 strip club story. He'll give you the premise of them, and you vote which one.
Okay. Bam.
Okay, are we all good?
We're good.
We're all good.
Thank you, everybody, for tapping in to Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network. For Darren McCarty, Terry Foster, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter, my name is Neal Ruhl. Good night and good evening, and, well, see you later.